Hey guys, and welcome to another Mod Spotlight. Let's get started with something pretty cool right off the bat. Let's go grab a 6-lane road and I'll show you something pretty cool. So if I draw a lane right there, and then maybe a lane out one, well that's normal, right? But what is this? Oh my god. I can put them right next to each other. But wait, there's more! If I want, I can actually just make this a giant, tall lane. Look at that. That is a legitimate lane. The game will understand, and it'll be fine. And if that wasn't enough for you, well, what if I dropped it into the ground? Yep, you guys can make your own roller coaster if you want. This mod is called Road Anarchy, and it pretty much eliminates all rules, or at least most rules, of road laws. So now you can make your roads however you want, make weird turns, whatever comes to mind. Maybe make an entire city that's just a roller coaster, up, down. It's crazy. Now, as you can see, you can also quote-unquote build here, but you really can't. Like, this is gonna look really weird once the buildings are placed. I don't know how that's gonna work. Haven't tried that. You guys can if you want to. But one thing to keep in mind, this mod is a little bit unstable. Some scenarios do cause the game to crash and get corrupted. So use this at your own risk and maybe make backups of your files. But it's pretty cool, I think. I like the ability, if I wanted to create like a, for fun place and just go crazy with weird roller coaster roads. The second mod I have is the Traffic Plus Plus mod. Now this is a mod that a few of you have requested, and I wanted to look into it myself as well, because it is pretty darn awesome. So this adds a lot of new features. And we'll start with the roads. So the first thing, it adds pedestrian roads. So these are roads that are purely for pedestrians. It adds a regular kind of pedestrian road as well as pedestrian gravel roads. So there you go. It's pretty cool. You can create those however you want. Set them around your city. But the other stuff it adds is, besides this is the regular 2 gravel road that goes here. It adds small subway lines. So if I add a little intersection here, you'll see it says a bus lane. Now these are lanes purely for buses. No other vehicles can travel across it. There's also a one-way option for these guys. So if you wanted to, you could create like an entire loop around your city and then create a bus route on it. And no other vehicles will go there. They will not get in the way. So that is pretty darn cool. But what if you don't have the space available to create a road just for buses? Well, don't worry. There's a 6-lane option for this. The 6-lane option that has been added in is basically a 4-lane option with extra pure bus routes. So if I get an intersection in here, there you go. You see these in the middle are regular roads. So you got 2 going one way, 2 going the other way. But you also have one as one bus lane for either side. So now you can have buses going there and buses going back, and they will not intersect with each other. There won't be traffic from the bus stops, so this is really nice. But keep in mind, if you have buildings here, some cars will have to enter and exit buildings. So that is the times when the bus lanes will get traffic going through them, but that is very rare, so you should have absolutely no problem with this. Now, this alone is pretty darn sweet, but that's not all the mod has to offer. There are no more roads. Those are pretty much the only roads. But if that was enough, it has a thing called a road customizer tool. Let's go to a road. Let's go with a small road for now. Let's take just this 2-lane. If I select the road customizer tool, and I hover over roads, I have this option. These are like selected. You can select the lane basically. So if I select a lane like this one right here, I have this option in the bottom left. Let's get it right there. You can see it better. I can see all the different things that can cross through these lanes. You turn ambulances, buses, like you can turn pretty much everything on and off, and those kind of vehicles cannot travel down this road. Let's get that back selected. And so now only emergency vehicles can travel down this lane. I can add stuff. I can add, maybe I want also these 3 lanes. Now keep in mind, only these 4 lanes now have these options. If I want different options for different lanes, I will have to exit out of it, reselect it, reselect the tool, and now I can select this guy and change it here. So now, I keep selecting, there we go. So now, if I change different stuff, I have different options for these guys. So now, this one is on only on the bottom, and this one is on in different places. They're not the same, and that is very big. You actually, if you want to, you could recreate this 6-lane road that I showed off here for the buses by just going in onto your regular 2-way 6-lane road, selecting the road customizer tool, selecting the only the outer roads, and just turning off everything except buses. So now only buses can be in this lane and in this lane. Now, of course, this does mean you would take a lot of time going through your entire city. That's why this is pretty cool. But wait, there's even more. So the circles you saw was me selecting an intersection, or selecting basically a, if I select a long road, let's see, somewhere, oh, it's a long section of road. Somewhere around here. Let's see, the road selected. Will it let me? Let's see, I need to be, oh, here we go. So right in the middle, I can select it here, I can select it in other sections. But what this is you can select any of your lanes and tell them to go somewhere else. So now I can have everyone go to this lane, this guy go to this lane, this guy continue going straight, this one go left. I can just basically switch the placement of everyone else, everyone around. I'm pretty sure that's what it does, because I've seen that happen, and sometimes, and you really have to let the sim play for quite a while, because people have routes already predetermined. So once they've predetermined the route, they're just going to go on it. But I have seen them follow this route. I don't know if it's because I've actually set it that way. Oh, there we go. You saw that guy? He switched over to this lane. But again, in my case, I don't know if it was because he needed to or because this told it. Anyway, that is the last feature for Traffic++. I think that's most of them. There's probably some I didn't cover. It's a pretty big mod, and it's pretty darn awesome. You should check it out for sure. Okay, the next mod I want to check out is the ability to turn on and off left and right turns onto a lane. So the mod is like no left, no right turn. I think that's the name of it. But basically you select the word lanes, it's up here. You select the road you want, and you can click enable lane control. So now I can go ahead and disable, for example, left and right turns on this road. Now I'm not sure about disabling the forward because it always shows the sign. But if I turn these back on and off, you see it's stuck. I'm not sure if that's a visual glitch or something like that, but if you click disable lane control, it resets. So you can just go ahead and turn off those guys, and now any vehicles that cross through this lane cannot turn left or right, which I think is pretty cool. Let me go find something that has a little more turns, so let's do this one. So if I go to lanes, go ahead, select this guy, and I can turn off the left and right, and now all three should go forward, despite it not updating. I have tested this, it seems to work, but I don't know, you guys will have to test it out. One other thing, though, to mention is it does not work with Traffic++. From what I've seen, I cannot get the lanes to select in using Traffic++ at the same time. Now, the next mod is the No Despawn mod. So you see this long traffic jam? Basically, this is because I have eliminated despawning of cars. So now, no cars will despawn, no matter what happens. Even if there's a traffic jam, there's just... oh, this guy just got out of the lane. He said, screw it to these guys. That's kind of cool. Wonder what took so long. But yeah, like, cars don't despawn. It makes the game a little more difficult. It does mean you have to get your traffic sorted out a little more. But because of the problem with one lane still, like, it's... like, here everyone's can be exiting, sure. But the reason this is still one lane is because they don't work with 3 lanes. So, I don't know. It's a mod that you guys can check out if you want a little bit more difficult experience. As you saw right there, there was clipping. Makes things look crazy. Now, the last mod I want to show off is something of a natural disaster. Now, there aren't too many in the game. By not too many, I mean none. Bam! Let's get a little wave going, shall we? This mod is the Tsunami Disaster mod. You can create tsunamis anywhere in the world. And I mean anywhere. Bam! A little bit of a tsunami right there. Now, basically it creates water sources. And then it goes with the simulation and the water spreads. So that's pretty cool. But that's not all. You could actually set this to be a little bit higher. A little bit higher of a tsunami, a little bit bigger of a tsunami. So you can really flood your entire city. Now, if I zoom in, once this actually creates a proper circle so I can see inside, I'll show you just how flooded this city becomes. Bam. Look at this. This is the city. The streets are flooded. There's like water to what? First level, above the first, somewhere around the first level. It's properly flooded, basically. And how's the one over here? It's slowly going around. There's some water damage on the first floor. But keep in mind that this will pretty much cause people to leave the city, of course, because no one's going to live in a flooded building after a while. But I also don't know how to get rid of the water. I don't know if the water just goes away after a certain amount of time, because it is all simulated. So just back up your file. Like, really, like, this is pretty cool. Like, how flooded this place is. It's pretty incredible. But if you can't ever use this area because it is flooded now, and there's no way of getting rid of the water, that's pretty much like a, I give up on this area, I give up on the save. Of course, don't make a tsunami this freaking big if you want to make a smaller one. Where was tsunami here? The water the body of water has moved on. This place is more or less okay. So there's still a little bit of water coming down, but like that's nowhere near as much. Still, how do I get rid of this water from here? Will it go away naturally? I have no idea. I can't tell you. I have not looked into it personally. Okay, well, that is the mods for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there are any mods you want me to check out for next time. Any specific like type of mods you want to see. Maybe more UI mods, more road mods. You know, let me know what you guys think. Until then, hope you have a good one. See you guys. To do another practice, but we could do a book study. So let's do a book study for Charles on game design to get his design sort of that one building to make them happier. And let's do one more park. We have gained much knowledge in that time, so hopefully the second run through, which I guess slightly spoiler if you haven't seen it,